but in the pitch was unbelievable how good I feel since day one. The connection with the fans, with the club, with everything. But when I fly to England, I already decided that I signed with Brentford because honestly, when Brighton tried to change my mind and sign me, but I already said to Mark I will go to Brentford. And I don't know why, but I feel that Brentford was on my destiny. We start developing that new technology for agriculture with patented, and we've been 2 years and a half of hard work and developing, and we are now in a very good position because we have a technology that will be change the world of agriculture. The main point of Groinn for me is be the biggest agrotechnology company in the world in 5 years. For sure, in the future I will be love invest in a club and run a club. I keep loving football, and now in the other side of the football, in the business side, yeah, I will love in the next years I can have a club in England.
Hello, and welcome to the Achieving Alpha podcast. My name is Stephen, and I am the host of the show. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by a hero of mine, and that is Jota Peleteiro. He is a former professional football player, having played in the Premier League, the Championship, as well as La Liga. He is lined up for a number of different clubs, including Celta Vigo, Eibar, Brentford, Birmingham City, Aston Villa, and lastly, Alaves. After retiring from football, he has gone on to have a very successful career in the agricultural field. Welcome to the podcast, Jota. It is really great to have you on.
Thank you so much for welcome me. Thank you.
As I said to you before our recording, I'm a big fan of yours. Just for everybody on the podcast, because this is a business show, usually, just to let everyone know, I am a big Brentford fan. But in this recording, I'm going to try as good as possible to go through your whole career, not just your time at Brentford, although that was a particular highlight for me. And then I want to then go on to talk a bit about your successful career in the agricultural business. So really good to see you doing for yourself.
Thank you so much.
So just to start the interview, I just wanted to go back to the very start of your career when you were growing up there in Spain. How did you start off in football? How did you get into football? What was your experiences growing up with football?
Yeah, I start really young. I loved football since I think I was born. I started playing in a team with 5 years, but at this moment haven't teams for 5 years old. I was playing with 10 years kid in the team, and obviously was a big difference. But I want to start playing. I start playing with my sister generation. She have 10 years and his friends, and I play with his friends in the same team. And was yeah, I started playing with five, and after was keep going till 30 years.
And did you always have quite a lot of talent, even when you were quite young when you started? Did you feel like you were, more talented than the people around you at the time?
Yeah, obviously, I didn't think on that when I was at this age. I wasn't think, but I knew that I was a little bit different because all the big kids they let me play with them, and obviously my friends can't play with them because they don't agree, but they always call me to play with them. Obviously, you see something is different on you when you are welcome with kids 5 years more than you. Something different you have, but at that moment you don't realize that you have quality or talent. You are so young to think about that things.
And then you joined a youth academy after that, before you joined Celta Vigo, right? There was a club before.
Yeah, I joined my first academy, I think was 7 or 8 years. That was really the first start on football, more serious. Yeah, and I started in that academy. I spent there 3 or 4 years, was in my hometown. And after Celta Vigo come to me and they want to sign me and move me to Vigo, and was my first pro academy, let's say, because that academy was in my town, was a normal club town, all the people from the town. But I enjoy so much that period on that town.
And was it true? I read somewhere on the internet that you were trained by your father in the early days, where he was your coach. Is that correct?
Yeah, when I was 7 or 8, or we have a manager that she was all health, and we love she so much. She was so kind, and she was a little bit sick, and she need to stop it because she was little bit old. And after we don't have money, yeah, and my dad was training me 2 years, and the team.
Oh, that's nice. It's good to have the support of your parents when you're trying to make it, right?
Yeah, of course, it's important. We was really young at that age, and obviously, I don't think so. They was thinking more than I enjoy it, but it's good always, like in every side of the life, have some support.
So, how did you get spotted by the Celta Vigo Academy? What was that moment like? What age were you at the time?
Really nice, to be honest, because it was a big change, because I born in a little town of Galicia, and that wasn't quite normal because we was little bit a part of the big cities. And this normally, though, anyone before me was select to join a club like this. I'm quite surprised because I was little bit young, and but it was really nice.
Wow. Wow. So that must have been like a real eye-opening experience for you.
Yeah, completely different because I obviously born in that small town, have the opportunity to meet all the big Celta players. Like when you are in the academy and you see the professional, like a dream, is a such experience.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so you grew up in the academy. Did you have to move away from home to be at the academy?
That's the first 3 years. They pay me a taxi every day because I was 1 hour and 20 from Vigo, the city where is Celta. And obviously, I was really young. I don't want left home. Then they agree pay me a car every day to go and back home after the trainings. And yeah, it was a little hard because I was 2 hours or like a little bit more in the car every day. But at that moment, I didn't feel it was hard. I like it.
Yes, when you're really motivated to do something, things that seem a little bit hard, you're happy to do them, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. After joining the academy, obviously you worked your way up to the Celta Vigo B team, right? And then up to the Celta Vigo first team. Can you tell me a little bit about how it felt to play your very first game for Celta Vigo and how you found out that you were playing and just your overall feeling when you made your professional debut?
So nice. I think if I don't remember exactly what age, but was a good moment because I was waiting for the professional debut, and I think I was already training every day with the first team. I was involved in the first team live, but I still playing normally the weekend with the B team. But in the end of the season, I started going to the bench with the first team. In Barcelona, I did my debuts.
Wow. You couldn't think of a better place to do your debut, right? What was that, the new camp, or was that at home at Celta Vigo's ground?
No, no, was in Barcelona.
That sounds like a great experience, a real dream debut to play against Barcelona. Okay, all right. So you made a number of appearances for the first team, and then I believe that you went out on a few different loans.
Yeah, I went to Madrid B. They was in second division, and that year was the best one. To be honest, I expect that they signed me because I came from first division. I expect have a lot of opportunities, be big part of the team, but it wasn't like this, and I moved on the next year to Eibar. I have a really successful year. I score so many goals. We win the league. I scored the goal for the going up, and yeah, it was a really successful year.
And I understand that Eibar's has some similarities to Brentford, right? Because they're quite a small club with a small ground, but really overachieving and real like family aspect. Did you feel that when you went out on loan to Eibar?
Yeah, I think in that moment I need that, but I came from Madrid, total different place, big club. I went to something small, but I think I need that family experience and get all the confidence back to feel important again. And yeah, it was a really successful year. Already yesterday we had the lunch because we celebrate the 10 years since that moment, and we have a reunion yesterday because they are now fighting for going up again this week, Eibar, and they invite us. The team was make that going up for Eibar first time in the history, and we have a lunch yesterday all together.
Oh, that's so nice. And I guess some of them are still playing and some of them are retired.
Yeah, some are still playing in Athletic Bilbao, other teams, and other ones were retired. But yeah, it was nice to meet everyone. And you see how much the team and the club changed is crazy. New stadium, training ground, and we started, and it's nice to see how things changing.
And any cool experiences from when you played for the Real Madrid B team or Castilla it's called? Did you get to train with any of the first team? Did you get to train with any of the big names from the time?
Yeah, I training sometimes with the first team. The experience was unbelievable. Can see all that players that have quality in other level of quality. This was such experience. It wasn't the best year on my side, but to be honest, it's a experience that I will never forget because it's another dimension. Be player of Real Madrid in all the aspects. When you are 20 years old, is a experience that I will have with me forever.
Yeah, and there was some really big players playing at the time. There always is at Real Madrid, but at that time particularly.
Yeah, Mourinho was the manager. Cristiano, Sil, Benzema, Sergio Ramos, big names.
Yeah, you couldn't get any more good experience for a youngster than being with those day in, day out, even if it was a loan spell.
For sure.
Cool. So then we move on to something that I remember very well, your move to Brentford. So how did that come about? So you obviously finished your loan Eibar, and then how did the move come about to Brentford? And how did they persuade you to join the team?
Yeah, after that year in Eibar, the loan, obviously I scored, I don't remember, but maybe 16 goals. And I still have 1 year on Celta de Vigo, and Celta de Vigo signed a new deal, but I wasn't really sure of continue in Spain. I have a couple of offers, but Brentford came with a good offer, to be honest. And after that, I sent some of my people to check how was Brentford, have a meeting with them, and they told me it's the place to go. And I said, okay, let's go. I didn't know much about Brentford, to be honest, before. but we decided, and maybe it was the best decision of my life.
That's really nice to hear. And I know at the time Brentford were just starting the ascent up the leagues. We're just starting to went from League One to the Championship. I think the season that you joined was the first year that Brentford had in the Championship, just after promotion. The manager was Mark Warburton at the time. Did you fly over to England and have a meeting with Mark and the directors of football?
Yeah, but when I fly to England, I already decided that I signed with Brentford because honestly, when I fly to England, Brighton tried to change my mind and sign me. But I already said to Mark I will go to Brentford, and obviously I didn't do the change. But I feel was I don't know why, but I feel that Brentford was on my destiny. Yeah, I just don't listen to any more offers or anything. And since I arrived there, I have a really good feeling with everything. And I am honest, before it, I didn't know maybe nothing for because they were just coming up. It's not like now they are important club in England.
I'm really glad you did join and you didn't take that offer from Brighton because you were very loved by the fans at Brentford. I think almost from the start, because I think the fans really loved the way that you played with a lot of flair and that you were a good teammate for the rest of the team as well. So you were really loved by the fans. And how did you feel that connection with the fans when you joined Brentford?
Yeah, that I think was easy part for adapt to all England culture because to be honest, first year wasn't easy uh, adapt to different culture because I still young. I have family. The first year, my kids wasn't with me because we just moved at the last time, not so quick in the summer, and was a little bit difficult outside the pitch. The adaptation, and I didn't know any word of English. I only said hello and no more, and I can't communicate with people and was little, but in the pitch was unbelievable how good I feel since day one. Like you said before, the connection with the fans, with the club, with everything, that all the difficult period was outside. Inside of the when I came to the pitch, it was like, okay, I am in the same place like when I was a kid playing. This is football. Here I don't need that.
And Griffin Park, which is Brentford's old ground, was quite a very intimate ground with the capacity was only 12 or 13,000 people. So you did feel like the fans were really with you when you were playing.
Yeah, I love that. I love Griffin Park so much. And that feeling when people support you, like you touch the ball and almost can't shake hands with the supporters because they were so close. And that feeling was really nice.
Yeah. And you got the nickname King Jota when you were at Brentford. Was that at Brentford or did you have that before?
No, that was before, but yeah, I have on all my social media. And yeah. I think they like it too, and yeah, they keep it.
We always remember that name, King Jota. Yeah. So when you joined, I remember we had a really great team. So we were obviously on the back of a promotion from League One the previous year. And then we signed some really great players in that transfer window, including yourself. But I remember we had Pritchard, we had uh, Andre Gray, so many players in that team that really contributed. Oh, Alan Judge, we can't forget Alan Judge. He was very good that season, right?
Yeah, yeah. Moses of the Bayo. Yeah. Turkey.
Oh, Moses Adebayo with his pace.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. So aside from the personal issues that you had with your kids being away, Did you blend in quite well to the dressing room, and did you get lots of help from your teammates? I don't think we had any Spanish players that time, right? That was before Sergi Canos joined, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Was Marcos Tebar was in the team, but he have so much injuries in that couple of years. Yeah, yeah. Like I said before, was not easy communicate with people for a year. I tried to use Marcos to communicate, and we have a translator to. Yeah, but it was a really nice changing room. Harley Dean, Moses, Preacher, Andrew Gray. I remember couple of the Jones. We live in the same tower, and it was a really good team. Not so many people with a lot experience or big names, but we was a quite young talent team.
Yes, that was a really great season, and I remember that season. That was the season that we got to the playoffs in our very first season in the championship. So, did the team surpass your expectations when you joined about how good they were and how high they could go in the league in the first season in the championship?
Yeah, obviously you always think when you move somewhere you want, even if you going just going up last year, but I think like a player you always feel like you want to be on the top of the league, even if you are a big team or a low team. Yeah, but when I see the players we have, Preacher, Andrew Gray, like Moses, Harley Dean, like I feel like okay, I think we have team to make playoff. I think that part of the success of Brentford was Matthew because he have an unbelievable mindset and he know what he want for Brentford, and obviously was that year I think was a good enjoying time for the players because Mark, the manager, yeah, he like attack all the time, and I think the fans love that. Like if you remember, I will always remember that in when we have a corner back. The three of the top, we didn't defend. We stay up, and this is a big moment to show how Brentford playing. Put three people in the front in a corner is not so normal, and yeah, we always we was there to attack and enjoy. To be honest, I enjoy so much playing this year because I don't need defense so much, and I don't like defense so much.
You were a player with flair.
Yeah, yeah, was like okay, wait, rest, and when you have the ball, enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that about Mark Warburton. He was a very attacking manager, and I remember that. I think that season we sometimes played right and left wing backs who were more midfielders than defenders. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that was a really great first season in terms of on the pitch, and then obviously got to the playoff semi-final against Middlesbrough. What was your memories of that? Obviously, we lost to Middlesbrough, but it was just a great achievement in its own right to get to the semi-final of the playoffs in the first season. What are your memories of that playoff campaign?
Yeah, no, really nice, really good first year. In all the thoughts I can have of that year is positive, and yeah, and was unlucky at the end, can get the promotion, but to be honest, Middlesbrough have a not better team because I think we have more quality players, but Middlesbrough have a more built compact team, and they was maybe not nice like us playing, enjoying for the supporters, but they did a really compact team with Karanka. They was an experienced team, and to be honest, they deserve win in that playoffs.
Yeah, they'd been building at that over a couple of seasons as well, I think, before that.
Yeah, that is what I want. What was my impression?
And what I remember as well is we had a really strong team, with lots of talented players, but we had quite a thin squad that season. I think we didn't have the squad depth that maybe Middlesbrough had.
Yeah, I think so. The same. I think they was built it couple of years, and they was on the moment that they already have built that squad for promotion. We have, I think, much more talent on our team than they have. But sometimes in playoffs you need to experience, maybe some experience in the back. Like it's not easy, and they was showing all the year like they was really good team. Karanka is a good manager too. And I think we did a really good season because anyone expect that we will be on playoffs. We make enjoy people so much. I remember the last game, we need to score 3 goals to be on playoff, and we scored the 3 goals. Like, it's like,
I remember going pretty mental watching that game.
yeah, I think was that Derby, maybe Derby was fighting with us to go playoff too, or I don't remember what team exactly, but I remember we need to score goals, and we score. I scored that day too, and
Wow, big part of history there. I don't think people expected Brentford to go up that year. So I think it was just the fans were just really happy to have made the playoff and build upon for future years. Cool. And then, so after that season finished, that was when obviously you had some personal issues in your life. And then you went back on loan to the club that you previously went on loan and kind of had early part in your career, Eibar. Obviously, that move happened. Was that a successful year for you on the pitch? But I think they'd been promoted, right? They were in La Liga at that time, or were they in Segunda?
yeah, no, they was in La Liga at that time, and yes, I had a injury first day of the season with Brentford that year, and I was until Christmas without playing. And after I was waiting my second son, and obviously I want big with him. I will be always thankful for Matthew because I said to him, I won't be in Spain because I will be traveling so much because I need. It's really important for me be with my family on that period. And he, even I was really important on the clock, obviously, and he gave me the opportunity to go back home that year. I said, okay, I will be back after that for sure. But he was really open to my personal things, and you don't see it so much in football because last year I played everything. In other club will be impossible, but he was so kind and he let me go to that season to finish the season in Spain. Yeah, and after we back to Brentford, and that was another great season. A really good comeback to Brentford, I think.
And then, so that was a different manager when you came back, because I think that close season, Marinus Dijkhuizen was appointed, but you probably didn't play much under him because you were injured.
Yeah, no, one game only. Yeah, one game. The injury, the first game of the season.
Yeah, he didn't last that long at Brentford before. I think we then had Lee Carsley for a short period of time after that. And then for the majority of the time after that, it was Dean Smith. How was it like playing under Dean Smith in that period of time when you came back?
Yeah, really good, really good. He was style football that I like. He want to play football. Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know what happened this month. We set in Spain with look because since day one was everything so smooth, because it was a change. I came back in Christmas, and since day one was everything so smooth. Like started scoring goals, playing well, the team winning. I thought that I scored maybe 14 goals in 17 games or something like that.
And you developed a good chant as well towards the end of your time at Brentford as well with Jota in the last minute, right? Because of your last minute goals. That's a good question, actually. What was your favourite goal that you scored for Brentford, or one that's stuck out in your mind?
I think will be the 2-1 against Fulham at home at Griffin Park. Obviously, it was my first season. I know it was a derby day, but I didn't know that was so big game. After that day, I realized how big was Brentford Fulham.
Massive. Yeah. That was a really amazing goal as well. And just, I think it was a mix of the goal being a really good goal, but also the fact that it was right at the end of the game made it more special against the rivals.
It was more special than the was the goal.
The fans were really happy at the time when you were at Brentford. Before this interview, I actually reached out to some of the fans and asked them if they had any questions for you. And they actually came back to us and just say, tell Jota that he was much loved by all the Brentford fans. And thank you for your time. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it. I was so lucky that that season they invited me to Brentford to the new stadium to give me the cup of legends, and I still feel that love of the club, and I am still be in contact with a lot of people on the club, with Matthew, with a lot of people on the club, and yeah, I love them so much, and I'm so thankful for how the club, the fans, and they treat me and they treat my family. Everything is, I think, was experience, and I will be always a Brentford fan, to be honest, because I love so much the club.
Okay. That's nice to hear. You have to make your way back to watch some Brentford games.
Yeah, my kids love it. They was in Griffin Park, and they now see that in the new stadium. They enjoy so much.
Were you aware that the fans actually named a greyhound after you? Did you hear about this? A dog, a greyhound dog was named after you.
I didn't know.
Oh, you never heard about this? I'll tell you briefly. I think it was in, yeah, maybe 2015, 2016. A group of Brentford fans come together and they bought a greyhound dog for racing and it was named after you. I'll have to dig out the picture somewhere.
Yeah,
Great. All right. So let's move on to other parts of your career. So you left Brentford and there was some interest from Birmingham City, but it was a bit of a different deal, this deal that you had with Birmingham City, because it involved numerous players going over to Birmingham City at the same time. I think Maxime Collin, Harley Dean, and yourself. How did that transfer come about? And I think the manager was Harry Redknapp, right?
yeah, it was Harry Redknapp, the manager in Brentford, and yeah, I have only 1 year on contract on Brentford, and obviously it was a difficult decision, but at the end of the day, it's our work, and Birmingham make a really big offer for me. At that moment, I can't say no because it was a really big offer. That was difficult moment because I was happy in Brentford, but at the end, this is my work and I need to move on. And yeah, it was a decision that I need to make, and I think Brentford have a good offer. I think they pay 6 million or close by. To me, I only have 1 year on contract. Let's do that move. Yeah, and I think Harley was moved one day before. Maxine was day after or something like this.
It's so rare to have three players moving to one club from the same club within a week of each other. I think Harry Redknapp must have watched a lot of Brentford games that season before.
Yeah, because we was doing really good season, we was playing really good well, and I think they obviously they will like have players from Brentford because we was playing so well.
Yeah, yeah. And you spent 2 seasons at Birmingham, right? How was your move to Birmingham? Because obviously by then you spoke a lot better English, I assume. How did you settle into life at Birmingham when you joined?
Yeah, no, at that moment I was already adapt to the culture with everything. First season wasn't really well in the football side because so many changes in the club and wasn't a successful season. But yeah, after that season, Gary Monk came and we have a really nice season. Obviously, we have that deduction points at the end of the season and we fight again for the relegation because we was I think we was 8 on the table but they take 15 points of deduction and we was again last couple of games fighting for the relegation for that deduction points, but was a really nice year season. I think we make a really good team under Gary Monk. Yeah, that problems was the financial fair play. I thought they take us for fight again for relegation another year, but we win that games and we survive. But was a really nice experience.
So that was your second season where that you had the point deduction, right? Because I think I wrote down here that you finished 17th that year, but that was because of the points deduction. You would have finished a lot higher otherwise, right?
Yeah, they take I think 15 points deduction.
Yeah, I remember that you had a really good team at Birmingham those first two seasons, at least on paper. So, yeah, I think it was quite a strong team. How did you connect to the fans at Birmingham and how was your overall experience?
Yeah, it's great supporters. They love so much the club. And obviously they start a little bit disappointed with us because it's normal because we wasn't performing. Sometimes you have a really good team on paper, but don't know the reason, but you don't adapt well or so many things. And obviously first season they was a little bit disappointing with us because we didn't perform well. But second season was totally different. We was playing so well. We have a great connection with them, and they was super to be honest because they give everything to help us. And yeah, that is so great. People, yeah, was different. Wasn't really successful on the pitch, and we didn't make playoffs, and was the main point that the club want. Wasn't successful, but yeah, it was a really nice experience. No different culture in England. Meet so many new people. Meet did all different things. Adapt to another style of football. I like it that period to be honest.
I think it was a lot of things that were happening at Birmingham at the time. There was some difficulties with the ownership of the club, obviously, which is why that the point deduction happened. And then you had some changes in management from Harry Redknapp to Gary Monk. Did the players feel that at the time? Was it difficult to adjust for the players at the time?
Yeah, of course that when a club don't have a great stability and so many changes and you can have great players but everything needs time for that and anything needs that tranquility to play and when you have so many changes I think Harry Redknapp was 3 weeks and we have another manager we have so many changes and yeah that wasn't the best situation to achieve big things. We was a lot instability on the club, and yeah, they make a great effort because they spend so many money in transfer, but at the end, football need time. I think we have that time like for the team to make something great, but we didn't perform really well too and everything but second season I think under Gary Monk he give to the club a little bit more stability he make have our own identity and if we haven't that deduction I think we will fight for playoffs.
And so after that, you were at Birmingham for two seasons, and then after that, you went to Aston Villa. So not a far move in terms of distance between Birmingham and Aston Villa, but I guess it was going from playing in the Championship to playing in the Premier League. And I will also say you linked back up with Dean Smith, who was the manager at the time, right? From
Yeah, it wasn't. It's true that before I have the move, I knew that wasn't the best move because we was in the same city. We have the rivals, but like I said before, it's our work, and sometimes you need have that step up. Obviously, I can set not to that move. In that moment, Birmingham need money to for the financial fair play, and they was happy, and they told to me because I asked to the owners. I said, okay, I have that option, but I want as you before because I know they are the rivals. You should be happy with the move, and they tell to me, yes, we will be happy because we can take a good money for your transfer. Yeah, and I was really happy because I came to Premier League. I go to a host club like Aston Villa with a lot of history. Yeah, it was a great move to be honest, but I know some supporters wasn't happy. But
not every move works out from a personal perspective, and some moves don't work out because of football perspectives. But yeah, it's very difficult to play in the Premier League. So you didn't play too many games for Aston Villa compared with what you did at Brentford and Birmingham. What were some of the struggles that you had during your time at Aston Villa in terms of getting into the team? Was it the style of play? Can you just explain to me a little bit about why it was difficult to break into the team?
yeah, I think the most important thing on this was I start really well the preseason. I start really well the season against Everton, Crystal Palace, West Ham. I was playing, I was starting, but the last year in Birmingham, I start having growing problems, and I keep with that problems with so many pain, and I start playing with a lot of pain, and I decide to stop to have surgery. And obviously, after the surgery, we have the COVID, we stop, was everything like, okay. To be honest, my season ends in October when I stopped to have the surgery. I came back in February. Obviously, I didn't came back 100% fit. I need time to get back. And after that, we have the stop by the COVID. Like wasn't, but sometimes things don't get well. We start really well. I start playing, I think, one of the best footballs in my life. After came that injury, after, to be honest, maybe I wasn't ready to get back 100% because I need some time to get fit. After we stop again for the COVID, I never came back fit 100% on that.
Yeah. And then when you're playing in the Premier League, the very top league in England, you have to be at your absolute fittest and at your best to perform well.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
And that's the hidden side of football as well, because the fans, I don't think, see obviously what's going on behind the scenes, and they don't know that a lot of the players are playing with pain, that they might need surgery, that they're trying to get through this, and the fans don't generally see this.
Yeah, it's quite normal. They think we are robots and we are 100%, but to be honest, maybe 50% of the teams are playing, they are playing with pain somewhere. And sometimes how you perform is not if you are want or not perform. Obviously, every player want perform every day perfect, but sometimes you have issues that you need to keep going because you need to help the team and you need to keep playing with pain, but other times is not good play with pain because at the end you are not performing. You always want help and you don't want to stop. It's our mentality. Always go forward, play. And sometimes when someone is not performing, we are humans too. We can have problems, pain problems, or other things can happen. And the true reality is the ones that suffer more when you are not performing are yourself. People think we don't care if you are not performing, you go home, but not. When you are not performing, you are the first one. You are really upset.
Of course, it can be difficult with injuries. So, to end your career, you finished at Alaves for one season. So, was it nice to have a move after being in England for so many years? Was it nice to have a move back to Spain to finish off your career there?
Yeah, I think in that moment I need back to Spain. I have couple offers from England, but I start losing my motivation a little bit on football. I feel like okay, it's time to get back with the family to Spain. Yeah, and I played one season there. Was I played really well. I enjoyed the season. I have a possibility of renew the contract. They offered me a 3 year contract, but I start thinking about stop playing because I lose little bit my motivation. Yeah, and I want a new page on my life.
Was that loss of motivation partly because of the injuries started to take their toll and you were enjoying it less?
Don't know, maybe yes. I love so much England. I love my time. I enjoy so much there the time. Yeah, but the new style of football, of more physically, I start enjoying little bit less football. When you lose the motivation, you know it. I am type of person of if I do something, I need to do that 100% because if not, I will not enjoy. And obviously, I have offers. I have offers from Saudi, from other parts to keep playing and take good money. I said I want keep that love for football and not don't play 3 years more and maybe hate football because football gave me everything. I was so lucky that I can experience be professional football player playing Premier League in La Liga, have all that memories that life and I want to keep that memories always with me and don't try to extend it only for the money and don't be really in love with the football.
Yeah, just for money, it's not worth it, right? Sounds like a sensible decision. So, after your football career, you retired and then you've become a very successful entrepreneur. So, for the listeners that don't know, Otto has gone on to set up a business called Groinn, which is an agricultural company. Can you just explain how you got into entrepreneurship and how you were involved with Groinn?
Yeah, I in all my life now. When I was playing, I always be around business, but not really involved. But I always was curious about it, and I invest little bit on real estate and that things, but not really 100% on it. Yeah, I finished. I have couple of companies, and one of them was technology company. We start developing that new technology for agriculture with patented, and we've been 2 years and a half of hard work and developing, investing, all the bad process with the ups and downs. But now we are really happy because we came up to the market now 6 months ago or maybe little bit less, and we are now in a very good position because we have a technology that it will be change the world of agriculture, and we are really happy because we are helping people that at the same point we are creating a big company with big value. We are really happy that we are having a so big impact on the market, and the last couple of years was really hard because we have so many ups downs. When you are creating something new, you don't know what will be, is it will be finished or not. It's like 50-50, or you get everything or you lost everything because we are having a new thing, and we didn't know in what time we will finish that process. We are happy that we are now on the market. We are having so much reconnaissance about the world of the agriculture, and we already was in Qatar Economic Forum selected being one of the biggest company on the next years for agriculture. This is, to be honest, so good after that hard work, and the work on the dark is really good now beyond that point.
Yeah. Can you just explain for the listeners about your product and exactly who it's for and how it works?
Yeah, we have a product for all type of soil, forestry, agriculture, but every type of soil. But obviously, we are focused on agriculture because it's the big thing in soil. And we create a device that make viable half cover with precision a lot size of land, because we create it only for 175 euros, and our competence or some products similar to us, they are close to 5,000. This is a big gap. Yeah, and we collect data from the soil, and with our cloud, we send it to our cloud, and we send back to the farmers how take the decisions to put in the floor, keep that sustainable. Our product is a self-sufficient product. We work with energy solar. We have all the big best certifications in with temperature, durability, and that is a really change in the world, because now it's viable, can have all that data, and we can work with governments to prevent issues with the food security, because with all that data we can know if you will have in the next years land fertile or not, and you can prevent it before the problem is. And that is what we are doing, and we are improving every day, because obviously we are new on the market and we are a new company. Yeah, but we are really happy how things are going on.
And then you have contracts with governments in different countries. What projects are you doing at the moment? If you can talk about them.
Yeah, I can talk so much about this because obviously the contracts are private with the government, but we have already a contract in Africa, we have a contract in Europe, we are now opening new office in Holland, we are settle a new company in UK too. Yeah, we are quite good at the moment. We have in Lebanon, we have a couple of devices working with Dr. Yola Shamoun with one university. Yeah, we are having really good movements, and we hope by the end of 24 we will be with more than 10 governments. And yeah, we are really happy how we are growing up and trying to deal with all the demand we are having, because we need grow up so quick, to be honest.
Yeah, it's quite hard with a new company, isn't it? When you've got a lot of contracts and you're growing, to build the infrastructure behind it to grow.
Yeah, this is the most difficult thing, because you pass from a startup to start dealing with governments, traveling. I was last week. We have one commercial now in Suriname, Turkey, like having meetings. I was in Kazakhstan, like so many things. And yeah, that is the most difficult thing when you are from a startup 6 months ago or like this, and now you are having all that process of demand. Yeah, that is a big challenge, but we are happy that have that challenge, because this is good for the company.
I'm actually in Korea, so if you ever have discussions with the Korean government, you can always reach out to me.
Yeah, how we are not already in Asia. Only we are only in Lebanon with that new project. But yeah, also by September we will have a new office in GCC. to open the market in Asia. But yeah, hope so soon we are in Asia too.
So, what are your ambitions for the future for the company? So, it's been what, 2 years since you made that large investment in Groinn. What's your ambitions for the next couple of years?
Yeah, in the main point of growing for me is be the biggest agrotechnology company in the world in by 5 years. That is a huge. I know it's a huge statement, but yeah, the goal of growing is change the agriculture and try to be the biggest company in agri-tech by in 5 years. Yeah, for this we are knowing how much demand we are having with all the sustainable, with all the problems are in the world for food. We can now with that technology we know that we are having a big impact because so many governments are in contact with us and want to start talking with us, and for this we know we will be around the world so quick. And for sure if we keep that levels and we keep the technology improving day by day, we are our goal is a really possible thing, and it will be depend on us because we have now the device, we have the technology, and now depend of how good we are doing it with the company. But we have the main thing to achieve it.
Well, that would be some achievement in your career if you're able to achieve that. And great. And I guess you will have to expand the business as you get in more and more contracts. What are your forecasts? So, if you want to become the biggest agricultural technology company in the world, what are your forecasts over the next couple of years, either revenue or market capitalization? What are you trying to achieve?
Okay, this is difficult to respond because you don't want put numbers, set numbers. Yeah, but then you can know if we have on our mind be one of the biggest company in the world on agrotech, and then we will have big revenues. But yeah, let's see what we will have in, and don't say any number because I think it's not quite good to talk about numbers. Yeah, but you can if we have that goal for be one of the biggest on the industry of agri-tech, you can imagine our projections.
And what's the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur? So, what do you enjoy, and then what is the most difficult thing about being an entrepreneur? Um,
Okay, you have a very uh, good things and really and so many bad things too. But yeah, I think it's a new chapter of my life. So many I need to learn so much too. I've been learning so much during these years. I did many mistakes, but they made me better. Obviously, I am new on that new side of my life, and I need to keep improving. Yeah, but I really focus on that, and I really motivation, and this is the most important thing for me. I am really motivation. When I started, everyone tell me that I was crazy, stop football, stop making money to investment money. People was, what are you doing? But now people start thinking, oh, you are doing well. Can I invest? I said, no, you should say that 2 years before, not now. and and that is make me giving me more motivation. When you have people don't believe so much, this gives you some motivation. I am really believing on what I am saying, that we will be the biggest company on our tech in the world, and I will work really hard to make it a reality, and we are in the way, we are in the good way.
And I think I will talk for many people who will listen to this podcast in saying that I really hope that you do make it extremely successful, and that your company goes from strength to strength and keeps improving, keeps growing. So, congratulations on the success that you've achieved so far. but I'm expecting some really cool stories coming out that how successful you're going to be in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much. For we have a lot of projects incoming for the company that will be really good. Will be a little bit surprise for everyone, and hope you you listen from it. But yeah, we are so many things are coming out from the company that we will very interesting for everyone.
Okay, and I have just one final very quick question for you before we wrap up. Would you ever consider being invested in football in any shape or form or involved somewhere in your future?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. This is one point for sure. I will be. I tried 3 years ago to buy a club here, a small club in Spain, but at the end we can't. But obviously, after start my process with Groinn, and I was really focused, and all the invest was for it. Yeah, but I was talking it. I don't know with who, couple months ago, and for sure I in the future I will be love invest in a club and run a club. This I keep loving football, and now in the other side of the football, in the business side, yeah, I will love in the next years. I will love can have a club in England.
You need to give a telephone call to Matthew Benham and get his advice.
Yeah, for sure. No, I am in contact with him, and he's a really good friend of mine. Obviously, if I get an a new experience and I am running a business, a sport business, a club, obviously I will call him every day to give me advice.
Yes. I'm sure a lot of the fans would love to see you back in football in some shape or form as well. All right. So thank you very much for joining me for the interview. It's been a really enjoyable discussion. I think the fans will really love this episode. And I wish you the best of success in the future. So just thank you very much for joining.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, invite me and can have that amazing chat we have. Yeah, thank you so much to everyone is supporting me, and everyone was supporting me during my career, and they I feel that support from all the fans. Yeah, it was really nice be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.